What's up, y'all? I'm Ron from Around Our Hype, and this is the Art of Creating Yourself, a place where artists and creators alike share their unique perspectives on how to create themselves every day. I'm here with a brand new face, Savaiah. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, living, just doing right. You know what I'm saying?
Living and doing right. We could all use a little bit of that. But this is a place where we like to let the artists give their full introduction. So why don't you tell the people who you are, where you're from, and what you do?
Okay. I'm Savaiah. I am 17 years old. I'm from San Jose, California, but I also went to school in Oakland at Oakland School for the Arts. And I'm a singer-songwriter. I've been doing music my whole life, different genres like growing up doing jazz, mariachi. I was even in band
Mhm.
for like most of my, childhood. Um, I'm not the greatest instrumentalist, but I am a multi-instrumentalist. I played piano, guitar,
Okay.
violin, clarinet, saxophone, ukulele, obviously, and yeah, music is my life. Even I did musical theater for like 5 years. So,
Mm.
yes, it has built me up to where I am now and creating my own music. I started writing and recording music during quarantine when I was like 14, 15, in my closet.
Hey.
And it worked out. So now I'm here.
I'm glad it worked out, and I'm glad you're here. What's your favorite instrument? Actually, no. What is your least favorite instrument to play?
My least
Your
favorite,
least favorite.
mm, it's guitar. It's so hard.
Mm.
Like, I'm good at like simple stuff, but like someone needs to teach me because I cannot get down the bar chords. Like, I hurt myself,
Oh.
physically hurt myself. So that's something I really want to strive to get better at,
Hmm.
but it annoys me. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No. And the guitar in the background that we see, is that for show, or is that like something that like you're using to?
No, I try and
Okay.
play. Yeah,
Okay.
I do practice,
Mhm. Yeah, that's good.
but time is, harsh. So
No, I get it. I get it. Well, at least you have the musical experience to fall back on, and the guitar in the
yeah,
background for whenever you want to practice, right?
yes, yes. I will be playing at my concerts very soon,
Okay.
hopefully. So
Okay, then that's a goal. We're looking forward to see you playing live now. I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna hold you with that guitar specifically. That one, like if it's
okay,
still hanging in
okay,
your room, it has to be more than a decorative piece. It
right,
has
right.
it has
You're
to
right.
come back to hang on the wall. But I was gonna ask you. I asked you what your least favorite, instrument is. What is your least favorite part about being an artist?
Not having enough time to do everything.
Mm.
Also, I wouldn't say creating content, but like feeling the need that like I have to, or else my career is not gonna excel. And that really sucks because I know I'm talented and I want people to, get to know me and stuff like that. But like also I do have a life and I don't just wanna, it's hard to balance everything, but I'm learning how to balance like my personal life and like my music and even school and like my work, all that stuff, because at the end of the day, like, the platforms and the new like industry is like it's the only kind of the only way to get yourself out there nowadays. So I just have to like adapt and um yeah, like work on it.
Yeah, no, full disclosure, I kind of wrote the question thinking that like three out of every four artists are gonna say like content creation or like promoting or just like trying to market myself in some way
Right.
because of what it is, and it's taxing to continually try to put out something that's either entertaining or informing or inspirational from an artist's perspective. You're like, okay, like
Right.
what do I post today, or when do I even find the time to make this stuff to kind of promote, and
Right.
balance is a big factor. But if I could offer you any advice, it would probably be try to go against the balance. Try to do things in bulk. Try to like
Mm-hmm.
live life in experiences, and then try to do a lot in a little amount of time so that you can kind of like prepare for what's coming. Right. So if we're
Right.
talking about content, like I was just talking to Gary Jr. last week, and that episode will be dropping really soon. But he was talking about how he just picks a Saturday. He's like, all right, I know, my schedule is this much free on Saturdays, and I can do this, this, this,
Right.
and this. So I'm just going to knock out 4 performance videos or edit 18 pieces of content, right? And that'll take me through however long, he wants to divide it in post. But it's
Right.
it's increasingly hard to try to create content every single day and post the content that you're creating every day. So I
Yeah.
I totally get that. That's not your favorite part about being an artist at all.
No, but sometimes it's fun, sometimes.
Yeah, no, it can be fun. It definitely can be fun, trying to
Yeah.
create. I was on Twitter a little bit before this, and I saw a Matthew McConaughey interview,
Mm-hmm.
and like the headline, or like the gotcha line was,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I was making B's in 5 things, I wanted to make A's in 3 things, right? And
Mm.
he went on to say in 2008 he had a film company, a record label, he was obviously an actor for hire, he had
Mm-hmm.
his own nonprofit foundation, and he had a whole family,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he was spreading himself too thin and not really
Right.
able to create the quality that he knew he could create. So what he did is he shut down his record and his production company, and he focused on
Mm-hmm.
his foundation, his family, and obviously being the best actor that he could be.
Yeah.
The question that comes out of that for me is, if you could only do 3 things, because I know as an artist you wear 150 hats, right? If you could only do 3 things, what would those 3 things be?
Like just being an artist, like artist wise, like
Yeah.
out of the whole
Or actually,
independent.
if you wanna make it like life wise, like, okay, if I could only do 3 things right now, what would they be?
I would say, okay, I'll do the artist side.
Okay.
I would say perform, um, write and be in the studio,
Mm.
and mm, do I do like to
Okay.
market myself actually. I like to be a part of the business side.
Mm.
So I would say actually market myself
Okay. No, that's
because I've gotten pretty good at it. So
I
yeah.
mean that's a good skill to have, as long as you continually want to be an artist and you want to
Right.
expose yourself to as many people as possible through your art. Like, marketing is a really good skill to have. In terms of the pre-drop process, when you're showing somebody your music, at what point do you say, okay, this is ready for someone that is not myself to hear?
Once I feel satisfied with it, like then I'm like, okay, maybe this should be heard by someone else, to make sure I'm right. But usually I'll have a good feeling about it, or else I'll just like stop it all together, like halfway through. I won't even finish the song. I'm like, it's not even worth it. But if
Mm.
I have a good feeling, I'm like, okay. But those leftover songs, I will go back to them and I'll like, give them a little extra love and be like, okay, maybe you have potential or maybe you don't. So, yeah.
No, yeah, I get that. And you're writing based off, like, experience, right? So like a
Yeah.
lot of your songs are like love, or like love and heartbreak, or something like that. Um,
Right.
in what point of the process are you saying, okay, this is now something I need to document into a song?
Honestly, I just be thinking and I just be putting it down, like even stuff that will get people upset. Like I'll tell you, okay,
Uh-oh.
he unfollowed me, so it doesn't even matter, okay? But let me tell you something
Okay.
really funny,
What's
okay?
up?
So like basically a couple months ago my ex followed me
Mm-hmm.
like out of the blue. I was like, what the heck is going on? Like why is he following me? I didn't follow him back, obviously. But then I was just playing around, but I wrote in one of my lyrics, like, and it was actually a good song, so I wanted to post it. So in one of the lyrics, it was like, what did it say? It was like, oh, now you're new. No, now you're my new following. Guess you couldn't survive without seeing my face, or something like that, you know? And bro, he unfollowed after I posted it. Oh my god. Like, I was just joking. Like, I literally don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
But I just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And I hurt his feelings. But
Yeah. Was it directed towards
yeah.
him?
It was,
Okay.
but like, you know, like, no hard feelings. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it wasn't supposed to be mean like that, you know.
Yeah. It was probably like, it was intentional. It was probably fun to
I
do.
was
And
just
you're like,
messing around.
I hope
Yeah.
he sees this, right? Like, I hope he's like checking up on me the way that he probably is. And I hope he pulls up and sees this, And he did. No, but,
I know. I mean, I really don't mean any hard feelings, you know, but like, I felt bad. I was like, oops, my bad.
no.
But honestly, it was just because it was such a good song. Like, I couldn't pass it up. And I didn't want to change the lyrics because it sounded good. But yeah,
Yeah, no, that is
it
funny.
was funny.
You shouldn't have to change the lyrics, right? If it was a fire
No,
song.
yeah, it's my song.
Yeah, and if it did hurt his feelings, that's almost better. Like if as an artist you're
Shoot.
inspiring some emotion through somebody, like
What can I say?
he went all of his way to follow you. Now he got to go all his way to unfollow
I
you.
know.
So
I know.
I mean, does that happen often? Like when you show, let's say, your friends songs, and they're like, "Oh, is this about him or
Yeah,
is
yeah,
this
yeah. Of
about?"
course. Like, because all of my songs are true stories,
Okay.
like everything. I don't really like to write about something that didn't happen because it doesn't feel genuine to me. And like, also, if I want to expand on it, like, I can, you know what I mean? Like, as a songwriter, I do challenge myself to write about other stuff because it's like good for me to, move past my comfort zones. But when I'm writing like the songs I really love, it's all true because I can clearly depict from my memories, you know what I mean, of like what emotions I want. And so yeah, most of all my songs are, true. I wrote this one song, I was just messing around again. But I wrote this song about this girl being like a pick me, and because she was just getting on my nerves, honestly. Like, I was like, and it's basically a diss track, but it's like a cute diss track. It's like, you can't really tell,
Okay.
but it's me talking about how she's so annoying, basically. And I was just over it. But I sent it to one of my friends. She's like, "Oh my god, is this about?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yes, it is."
It's like, oh, okay. I mean, if you
and posted it on my story because.
Did she follow you? Did she know?
Yeah, she did follow me, but I don't think she knew it was her. So
okay,
it's good.
So it remains a sub diss track.
Yeah, because it was like a little bit vague enough to like make it seem like it was for, someone else.
Okay, so she didn't know it was exactly to her. Okay, I guess that
Right.
that works, and you can you can pull from your experiences and be like, okay, like this happened at this certain point, and I'm going to write about it, somewhere close to the moment.
Right.
It'll be just me documenting part of an experience. I like that.
Right. The closest I'll get to writing other experiences, I would say, is sometimes I like to write from the other perspective. So I'll just imagine like what I think they felt. So that's really cool. I like that.
No, yeah, that's dope. And as far as like songwriting is concerned, I think like songwriting itself is almost like an instrument, right? Where like you can start songwriting and you might, be at a certain level when you start, but it's a muscle almost, and you have to like practice. You have to like kind of build it up,
Right.
And, through trying to write from different perspectives or genres or types of songs, even, you evolve as a songwriter, and you'll be able to write whatever you want to based on whether it happened or whether it won't happen. And when you get to a level, people won't even be able to tell. But oh, this is just Savaiah. She's just writing. This is another track. It might not be about the boy who, was peeping on Instagram and got his feelings hurt, but all the same, it's still a fire trap. So we talked about how soon it is before you show somebody a track that you might have been working on. When do you decide, or how do you decide, whether or not you're going to release that song?
It really depends, like what it is, and I know this isn't really like maybe the exact way you should go about things, but like for example, last year, I was gonna like do a whole plan to do like a mini EP and stuff like that, but I was going through like such a hard breakup that I needed it for myself to put out like this song that I felt strongly about. Like just to almost not even for myself as an artist, but like for me, to heal, kind of like put it out there like, oh, this is my new era, this is what I'm feeling like, and maybe you can, vibe to it too, but since I'm not, I'm just an independent artist right now, I don't really have a contract or anything like that. I can really do what I want basically.
Mm-hmm.
Still like strategically, but uh yeah, I was about to put out an EP like very soon, but there's so much like opportunities coming my way and like new people wanting to work with me that like I'm putting it on hold a little bit because there might be some songs that are in the making right now that might just be on the EP.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm putting a little pause just because um it could be better than I expected basically. um and instead, like the specific example, I was going to do an EP, but instead I'm just putting out a couple singles from what was going to be on it, and then eventually once we get there will be an EP. But yeah, so I'm doing it a little bit slower, but I think it's going to be worth it, and worth the wait. So yeah.
Mm, okay, okay. And you said something that um, I always find really interesting when people are like, "Oh, I know there's some way like I'm supposed to be doing it, right?" Or I know I probably
Mm,
shouldn't do that. And my answer is always like, "Why not? Like, why?" From what you've seen, obviously, you understand that.
mm,
Oh, I've seen this person, or I've thought about it, and this makes the most logistical sense. Or like, oh, after I do
right,
this, I do this, I do this, and I do this with this amount of timing, right?
right.
But from like an artist level and like a creative level, why do you think that there's a should and should not to this independent artistry?
Just because like there are a couple people that have told me before, like there are seasons, you know what I mean? There are love seasons, there are breakup
Mm-hmm.
seasons, there are happy seasons, sad seasons. It's real.
Yeah.
So maybe I didn't put out my breakup song at the right time. Some people recommend to release it on, the time period, but for me I honestly didn't care because it was about how I was feeling. But yeah.
It was bigger than the actual
Right.
release itself. It was personal almost.
Right.
Okay, yeah, I get the whole the seasons thing, right? And there's a
Yeah.
there's a right time to release an album. There's a right time to release an EP, and if you want to go deeper, like there's a right time to where your single should be spinning. And there's the right time to drop it if it's this type of single, if it's this type of song.
Right.
And then we see people like SZA, right? Who's
Mhm.
for I think it's 3 years in a row now. She's dropped,
Mhm.
with SZA. She's an R&B slash. She's almost as like a. I don't want to call her a
Rapper
rapper
or
too,
something.
but I mean
Yeah.
it wouldn't be wrong to call her a rapper because what she just did on this
Mhm.
last project was amazing. Project of the year, by the way, but I digress. But she's dropped three straight, basically like holiday seasons, and in the
Right.
industry, it's just one of the top rules is we don't touch Christmas. We don't
No,
yeah, we
yeah,
don't
and
touch
she
New
did
Year's.
it. Yeah.
She's done it 3 times, and the first time it was a single. I think it was I
Mhm.
Hate You, and then
Mhm.
she dropped the album, and they both went number one, and it stayed number one for like I want to say it was like 10 weeks or something.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know there's a right way and a wrong way to do it, but it might.
Maybe when I get SZA level, but
You don't want to
right
jeopardize
now,
it.
yeah.
No,
I love her. I love her
yeah,
though. So
yeah. I was just gonna say like if everybody's doing one thing, you know, and Sis is not doing that same thing, and
Mm-hmm.
all because she didn't do what everybody else is doing. She had all the attention on her. It might not be the worst thing in the world to at least think about.
Right.
And then, kind of on like the same topic, like the post-release side, right?
Mm-hmm.
We talked about a little bit about how personal that specific drop was to you, and how less it was like industry related or like career related wise. You're like, I just need to drop this song for me.
Mm-hmm.
On that same kind of vibe, how much of do you think a song or a piece of art is dictated, like the feeling behind it, right, is dictated by you, something that you drop, and how much of it is dictated by like somebody who might hear it?
Um, I think I would say more on my side, just because like I'm the one that is like putting my like heart and soul into it, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? But it is up for other people's interpretation, you know what I mean? Like a love song I make could be like not just like I may write it as an intention for like a specific person, but it could be for like self-love or like
Mm-hmm.
love to your dogs or like your mom or something like that, you know what I mean? Um yeah, I am the original person that puts the feelings in it, but it's up for, interpretation. And I'm fine as long as you're listening to it, So,
Okay,
yeah.
as long as they're spinning, it can mean whatever it means.
Right.
Okay, I'm reading this.
Whatever you want. Go
No,
ahead.
yeah, as long as you're listening to it, it can mean whatever it wants to mean to you. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm reading this book by Rick Rubin. He has his new book out, and I guess it's not new anymore. I've been reading it for like 6 weeks, but anyway, he has his book out, and he talks about art being kind of like a product, right, or almost
Mm-hmm.
like a tool, right? So I don't know if you're ever like around your house and you're like, oh, I need to reach something, right? But I'm
Mm-hmm.
only this tall, and you're like looking around for things that could be like an extension of your arm. You're like, oh, like the guitar in the back. Maybe like, oh, I need to reach something that's on the ceiling. Maybe not the guitar, but maybe like something like a ruler or like a yardstick or something. Like, oh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
use this to hit something down so that you know I can almost reach it faster. I can
Mm-hmm.
have the ability. I kind of see like music like that too,
Yeah.
in the sense where like, okay, after it's out, like obviously a ruler or the guitar or a yardstick isn't made to reach things that aren't in your, you know, your general, what is it, wingspan, right?
Mm-hmm.
But once it's released, you can't kind of tell people how to use the ruler, tell people how to use the
Mm-hmm.
yardstick 100% of the time. It just becomes part of what they view it as in
Right.
that moment. Right? And I don't know if you've ever like listened to a song like maybe 2 years ago or 3 years ago when you were going through a different experience, and you listen to it now and it doesn't feel the same,
Mm-hmm.
right? Sometimes music can have that effect where you are in the moment can change how the song is to you.
Right.
Have you ever felt that about your own music that you wrote?
Oh yeah, like definitely. I mean, especially since I wrote my first song at like
Mm,
15, completely different feelings from what I was feeling then and what I was feeling now. And it's kind of cool at the same time because it's like my music is like a time capsule as well. So it's nice to see me grow and like view the different stages of how I was feeling at the time. But yeah, it's so funny too. I'll listen to lyrics. Like one of my friends the other day, she was telling me, she's like, oh my gosh, like I'm going through a breakup right now. Like your song Complicated is so good. Like it's helping me. And I was like, girl, I wrote that about my freshman boyfriend. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm just, and she's like, it's still good. And I'm like, that's just crazy to me. You know what I mean? Because it's like I'm a completely different person now. And like that was such like a cringy experience,
mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? And like somehow people find it like really comforting and like they really like it, even though it was just like, me messing around in my closet, you know?
Yeah, no, it's timeless. Like great music is timeless. I don't know if you're you pay attention to like a lot of like the hip hop rap like community debates,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of them are on Twitter where like, oh, Jay-Z, or J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar, their best piece was their first album, right? Or their
Mm,
first EP, or like Chance the Rapper. He gets a lot of hate right now. I think he's somewhere in the vicinity. There he is, right there. He gets a lot of hate, and it's like, oh, Chance the Rapper, you haven't made anything that good of acid rap since acid rap, and acid rap was
yeah.
2013, right? It's
Dang.
2023, and he's like, well,
Mm,
I'm not the same person making acid rap.
that's true.
I was what, 20 or 19 years old, and like, you know, tripping off shrooms and acid for most of the album. And like, you guys want this? I have like two young daughters now and a whole wife.
Yeah.
Like, my experience is not the same. I cannot create in that experience anymore. So I think music is just timeless in that sense. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel bad if I created an interview or something, and like 2 years later, and I have interviews that I think are cringy, that I've watched them, like, I can't watch this. Like, this isn't what I can do now, and it kind of like, oh, I would change this, or I would do this, or I know I shouldn't have
Right.
recorded it like that, or maybe ask this question, and it's kind of like you said, it just shows growth. You know,
Right.
it kind of shows growth. Are there goals that you want to achieve as an artist that are less maybe like quantifiably metric, like, oh, I want to reach 1 million streams or 1 billion streams, but more like, oh, I want to play at this coffee shop, because it's something that I drove by every year of or every day of junior year, and I think it'd just be like a full circle moment. Do you have any of those like goals in mind?
Yeah. I last year I went to Oakland School for the Arts, and there's a couple artists that would come by and like talk about their experience now that they've like made a career of their music and stuff like that. And one specific artist that's really amazing, I even sang backup for her at one of her shows at the New Parish. Her name's Satya. She's really great. What's it called? I just kind of want to get to that point
Mm.
where, like, soon, no, to where I want my school to support me, and maybe even myself have a show at the New Parish. Um, because I think that's such a amazing place.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen so many amazing people perform there, and I've been backstage, multiple times, so might as well, like, it's time. But yeah, I think that whole experience, like talking about my journey as well, with like former classmates and like new students, I think that would be amazing. And just to get that recognition, because I was even doing the music when I was there, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And um, yeah, that would be so cool.
Okay. The new parish is on your list. I mean, you've done brick and mortar. So
Yeah, I have.
yeah. So Gerald, if you're listening, Savaiah wants to be at the new parish.
I know.
No, I think it was funny because I was there the day before you were there, because I know it was like a whole like
Oh my
weekend
gosh,
festival.
really?
Yeah, like the whole
Yeah.
yeah, before the Fame festival, and they had like three
Oh
different
yeah.
days.
So you saw Katana, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. She's so good. I actually, but I have a song coming out with her. So cool.
No, that's what's up. Yeah, I've seen her live too. I think she was at La Russell's residency back in
Yeah.
July. Yeah, and I saw her
Mm.
perform a little bit there. But since he's been brought up, Good Company, La Russell, your live performances last year, how are those?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're not the greatest, but I just want them to be up there so people will know that, like, yeah,
I'm hurt.
I did it.
Yeah.
I did it with La Russell, and the whole team. So it was funny because okay, let me tell you about that
Mm-hmm.
real quick.
Yeah. No.
But I got off of school Wednesdays a little bit early. So after that, like, we're planning it, and I took a bus. Oh, I took BART all the way to like Richmond,
Mm-hmm.
and then I took a bus like across the bridge to Vallejo, and I got there, and I went to his house, and it was all great. Like, then he was asking me, like, where did I come from and stuff like that. And I was telling him that I just got off of school, and I told him about, like, that I go to OSA. And he was like, you, but I did skip the last period so I can get there on time.
Hey.
And he was like, you should be in school. And I'm like, well, I had to. And then, it was really nice. It was so fun, I didn't even know it was one takes, but that's why I kind of messed up a little bit on one of the songs, but it's fine. It was in the moment, whatever, I laugh at it still. But after that, like the whole thing was over, I was going to leave and stuff like that. And he's like, is anyone picking you up? And I was like, no, I got to go back on the bus and like go on BART, like it's okay. It's not too bad. It was only like 3:00, so I had time, and he was like, no, like, don't worry about it. And this dude paid an Uber for me all the way to not just Oakland, San Jose.
Oh, he
Yeah.
paid Uber to get back home. Not back to
Yeah.
OSA,
So that
back
is the
home.
nicest. That's why I will always respect Lil Russell, not just because of his amazing artistry, not just because of like what he does, but what he did for me. One day I will repay him. So yes, he is an angel.
No, a man of the people, for real. And he just posted something today, kind of like on the
I saw that,
same
yeah.
vibe, where he just basically broke down his whole expense sheet from last weekend. And he was like, oh yeah, we was in Portland, we was here, I paid for the whole team to come out, the whole team to stay at a hotel, the whole team to eat. I'm not talking to eat like McDonald's, Burger King, Subway, no disrespect. But like, no, we actually got local good food, Yeah. And everybody ate, and everybody, had all these amenities. And with all like the show tickets, I think he sold 430 tickets at one show, and then close to 500 at another one, at almost $18 a ticket. And he didn't really make out with any money. It was just an experience. And he said, I wouldn't trade it. So shouts to the Russell.
Yeah.
On the same type of energy, in terms of collaborations, I know I won't repeat it because you kind of leaked the secret collaboration, but are there any other collaborations you're kind of looking to do?
Yeah, I do have a couple lined up. There is this guy named Dex. Yeah, Dex son. There we go. Yeah, he is. Oh my gosh, an amazing artist. Like, what the heck? Like, I remember I texted him before about like collabing, but then I had a set idea and I sent it to him. He killed it. I was like, oh my god. And not only did he like send in his verse and stuff, but like he also altered the beat a little bit, but like not in a bad way, but like in a good way. Like, it was just, I was like, yes. So that's gonna come out very soon, which is good. But yeah, he surprised me so great because usually, like, I don't know, I wanted like a male, I wanted some contrast in my songs and stuff like that. Also, it's not secret, it's fine. Katana, like, oh my goodness, like, I felt like I was like, wow, I need to step up my game because girl is I listened to it, but I know all the words. Like, it's crazy. Like, I feel like a fan of the song, but it's literally my song, which is so funny. But she's really great. BX Rod.
Okay.
We made a little thing together. It's really fun. Like, it's nothing I would do by myself. It's like we were saying how it's gonna be in all the clubs. Like, so yeah, it's a little party song. Kind of like Pink Panther's vibe.
Ooh.
I wanted to kind of step to her plate because I know she does a lot of like experimental, like alternative, like garage stuff like that, like dance stuff. And I was like, yeah, like I need a dance song because literally all my songs are like love songs or something. And I hate it, but like it's what I'm best at. You know what I mean? I don't hate it. I'm joking, but also, I do want to work with like rappers, but not rappers, more of like lyricists. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like jazzy rappers. You
Jazz.
know what I
Okay,
mean?
not hip hop artists. You want to work with like,
Maybe, maybe.
possibly. It might.
But
Yeah.
I like stylistic rappers. You know, someone that has a set style and goes with it. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like not just another rapper, you know.
Hmm.
You have to be talking about something real and something I can hear, you know. So that would be really cool. But also, mm, other collabs, I would say a lot of producers. Um, yeah, I just want to continue co-writing and stuff like that. I'm learning how to produce on my own as well, but
Hmm.
there are a lot of great artists that I would just love to be in the studio with. So, yeah.
Hmm. That's dope. You said a rapper, but like a lyricist rapper, like somebody saying
Yeah,
something with
yeah.
like some substance, not just
Right.
vibes, basically.
Now you
That's
gotta have bars, you know.
okay. Yeah.
Match me. I'm joking.
Oh, okay. Savaiah got
I'm
them
joking.
bars. She said, "Okay, new rap project coming out, new EP, all rap, all lyrics, it's
Ice
hard."
Spice. Ooh.
Ooh,
Oh my gosh.
uh, you thought I was feeling you? No, like, no. But can collaboration ever be like scary to you? Is there ever a moment where you're like, I have this fire idea, and I'm sure this person can execute it, but I know that everybody has their own opinion and everybody has their own feeling about what they should do and how they want to do something, and so it might not come out exactly how I want it. Is there ever any fear
No,
associated
yeah,
with that?
definitely. But at the same time, it's like I want to take the risk. You know what I
Mm,
mean? It's better than just having it not be with them. So, it's a collaboration, you know. And even for example, with Dex, like there were notes that he gave me, and it was so helpful because ultimately it made the song better.
mm,
And I even gave notes to him. I think it's just it's even in general like songwriting with someone else, it's so great because you can get a different perspective, new ideas as well. So I'm sure it is a little scary sometimes, but ultimately it's going to be a better result.
mm. Yeah, they say the the greatest form of collaboration is inspiring somebody, right, through
Right.
your act. So if you can get better off of what you're doing and the other person you're collaborating with can get better about what they're doing just by working with each other,
Right.
then it doesn't then the end product isn't always the most ecstatic result, right? It's not always like the best thing that can come out of that. So
Right.
I think that's dope. I think that's dope. Yeah. Well, that's all the questions I had from you on like the base level. I have one more overarching question if you're up for it.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. When it's all said and done, what do you want to be remembered as when you leave this earth?
I want to be remembered as the artist that told the truth and gave you feelings for days,
Mm,
I do want to make timeless music that can be, I don't want to just be a one hit wonder or short fame. You know what I mean? I'm in it for the long game. Um, even if I, have a career, I'm still gonna be working on my music because I won't fulfill myself.
mm.
Um, and that's something I can't really live with. You know what I mean? Uh, Even if I'm broke, I'm still gonna find a way. Uh,
Talk about it.
but yeah, I just want to be remembered as the girl that like put her all into it. You know what I mean? And like from the start, you know, did everything. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, that's what you got to be as an independent artist.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like, I've always been dedicated. I've never just been the person that just jumped right in and, like, excelled. Like, it took time, it took practice. My voice has never been this good.
Mm,
Um, I needed, I would spend every single day in quarantine singing a song every single day, um, you know, working on my voice, doing lessons, paying for vocal lessons by myself, doing as much as I could to benefit me for the future. So, I want to be remembered as the girl that, worked her ass off to get where she is, even if it's, little.
No, I like that. I like that. You said one hit wonder. Like what happens if you a
Hell
second
no.
song, two hit wonder? The fuck?
No, that's what I was gonna say. Two Hell Wonder. Now what?
Yeah, like no. That's fire. That's fire. It's all said and it's all done. I'd like to thank you for coming on this platform, blessing it
Thank you.
with your perspective. It's now your time. It's now the plug talk. Tell the people what Savaiah got coming up.
Okay. So you heard him, guys. I'm gonna tell you what's coming up.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
I'm sorry. I think my other, dream is to be a comedian. So it sometimes comes through, you know.
Hey, be funny. If you're funny, be funny. Even if you don't think you're funny, or even if other people don't think you're funny. Like I suffered from something like a few years ago where I just realized that other people didn't think I was as funny as I did. And I just didn't care. I was just gonna get bad jokes off. I was just gonna get bad jokes off. I'm cracking up. So if you laugh with me, you can laugh with me. But I digress. Go ahead.
Okay, so oh yeah, what I got coming up. Okay, yeah. So this next song is called "Seen It Coming." It is the most beautiful song I have ever heard in my life. Mm-hmm. There's a beat change. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness. Yes, Kanye who? But no, it's so good. And it's like jazzy and like soulful, but like also it's gonna get stuck in your head. Just know that. So I'm so sorry. There's a train passing by.
No, it's good. I have buses that come through all the time during all the videos. I just
oh my god, I
just gotta make sure I don't.
It passes through every single night and it like blares.
Okay.
But this song is so good. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. It's called "Seen It Coming" because the lyrics are like, "I wish I would have seen it coming." You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, why didn't my friends tell me that this was gonna happen? Everyone buttered me up. They're like, "Oh no, it's gonna be good. Like, you guys are gonna last for a long time. Like, you're so happy. Like, you guys are gonna be together forever." But who didn't tell me? Because who's lying right now? So yeah, it's just a little fun song about like, I wish I would have seen it coming.
Okay, we just got a preview too. Look at that. Okay. Live performance. What? No.
Thank you.
The wall who? The Russell?
No, for real. Color Studio could never. Genius.
Okay. No, big aspirations. I like it. And I have one more question now. Is there do you plan in the near future to release any music that is not love or heartbreak related?
Yes.
Of course. Answer? Yes.
Of course.
Okay, of course.
My EP, it won't. I'm differing on the title.
Okay.
But the idea of it is gonna be like the reflection from someone else, basically. Like I'm reflecting away from them. You know what I mean? So it will be like the stages of like what I went through and just like how I was feeling. So not only is there gonna be like songs about like the heartbreak and love, but there will be like personal songs, like personal growth songs, and life songs, that I go through and stuff like that.
Okay, well, I think she's dropped all the previews. I think she's dropped all the information that she's gonna tell us today. So it's all said and it's all done. Savaiah, I just like to thank you again. Thank you to everybody. You. No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all love. Thank you to everybody who consumed this podcast, platform, video, whatever you want to call it, through any platform, whether it's just a second or the full thing. Support however you deem necessary. Follow, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun and unnecessary stuff. Is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
I love y'all. Remember me when I'm performing at Coachella. Okay? I say, give me 5 years. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I'll be there.
That 5 years, you'll be what, 22, turning 23? That's not crazy.
Perfect.
That's not crazy. She's gonna go from New Paris to Coachella, back to back weekends.
Yep,
Catch it
little mini
live
tour,
here.
Cali tour.
Cali tour, one in the Bay and one real South, real desert vibes.
Yes,
Real
yes.
desert vibes. But thank you everybody again. It's all peace and love. We out of here.